The man Nora Hayes buried 10 years ago was standing outside her apartment door. And his first words made her blood run cold. "Don't go to Monroe Estate." Thunder cracked violently across the Chicago sky. Inside her dim apartment, Nora stood frozen, her fingers trembling around the yellowed note she had just unfolded from the hidden compartment inside her necklace. The silver pendant hung open against her chest. The words inside still burned in her mind. Trust no one named Victor Kane. And now, standing in her doorway, soaked by rain and very much alive, was Daniel Hayes, her adoptive father. The man she had mourned for a decade. The man she had buried. For a moment, Nora couldn't breathe. Her lips parted, but no sound came. Daniel stepped inside quickly and shut the door behind him, locking it with shaking hands. He looked older. His face was gaunt, exhausted, lined with years of fear. Rain dripped from his dark coat onto the wooden floor. But his eyes were unmistakable. The same calm gray eyes that had comforted her during childhood storms. The same eyes she had watched close forever inside a polished oak casket. "No," Nora whispered. Her voice cracked. "This isn't possible." Daniel looked at her with visible pain. "There's no time." His gaze dropped to the open pendant hanging from her neck. And instantly, his expression changed. His face turned pale. "You opened it." His voice shook. "You were never supposed to open it." Nora stumbled backward. Anger quickly replaced shock. "You're dead." Daniel swallowed hard. "I had to make you believe that." The words hit harder than thunder. For 10 years, Nora had grieved him. She had stood by his grave, visited it every year, spoken to cold stone, cried over memories she thought were real. And now he stood before her, alive. "You lied to me?" His eyes lowered. "I did it to protect you." Lightning flashed through the apartment window, briefly illuminating his face. For a moment, he looked haunted. Nora's voice trembled. "Protect me from what?" Daniel was silent. Then finally, he said the words that shattered everything she thought she knew. 17 years ago, I was paid to hide a little girl." Nora's breathing stopped. The room suddenly felt too small, too still. Daniel slowly sat near the window, his hands trembling as though he had carried this secret for far too long. "It was raining that night," he said quietly. "Hard enough to flood the streets. Someone placed you in my arms outside St. Catherine's Chapel." Nora stared at him. "You were 7 years old. You were terrified. You kept crying for your mother." Fragments stirred deep inside her mind. Rain hammering against glass. A giant dark house. A woman crying. Someone shouting her name. Dreams she had carried for years. Dreams she had never understood. Daniel looked up at her. "I was told to disappear with you. To raise you. To erase your past." Nora's throat tightened. "Who paid you?" His answer came softly. But it struck like lightning. "Victor Kane." The room spun. The note in her hand suddenly felt heavier. "Trust no one named Victor Kane." Her fingers tightened. "So he stole me?" Daniel's expression sharpened instantly. "No." His voice was firm. "He saved you." Nora stared at him. Nothing made sense anymore. Daniel leaned forward. "Victor discovered a plan inside Monroe Estate. A plan to make a little girl disappear forever. He got to you first. He paid me to take you before the others could." Nora's pulse thundered in her ears. The necklace. The note. Victor's warning. Everything contradicted itself. Then why would he leave a note telling me not to trust him? Daniel's face darkened. Because by the time he hid that note, he no longer knew who he could trust. A chill crept through Nora's body. Daniel's voice dropped lower. There was someone else. Someone inside Elias Monroe's inner circle. Someone powerful enough to erase records. To manipulate police. To fake deaths. To bury an entire child's identity. Nora swallowed hard. "Who?" Daniel shook his head. "I never learned their name. But I know this. They've been watching for 17 years. At that exact moment, headlights swept across the apartment walls. Daniel froze, his face drained of color. Slowly, He turned toward the window. A black SUV had stopped outside the building. They found us. The apartment lights flickered. Once. Twice. Then everything went black. Darkness swallowed the room. Nora gasped. From outside came the sound of a car door slamming. Then another. Slow footsteps echoed through the stairwell. Measured. Deliberate. Coming closer. Daniel grabbed Nora's arm. You have to leave. Her voice shook. What's happening? They know the pendant is open. The footsteps climbed higher. 1 floor below. Then came a heavy knock somewhere in the hallway. Daniel reached into his coat and shoved a black card into her hand. A Monroe Estate access card. Go to Elias Monroe. He has the truth. What about you? For the first time, Daniel smiled sadly. For years, I protected you from the shadows. Tonight, I finish what I started. He rushed to the fire escape window and forced it open. Cold rain poured inside. Nora! Go! She hesitated. Then above them. The apartment door exploded inward. Wood splintered. Voices shouted. Glass shattered. Daniel turned toward the noise. And screamed. Run! Nora climbed onto the metal fire escape and descended into the storm. Rain lashed her face. The city below blurred into streaks of neon and shadow. She hit the alley pavement and ran. She didn't look back. She couldn't. Through rain-soaked streets, past honking taxis and flashing traffic lights, one destination filled her mind. Monroe Estate. 40 minutes later, she stood before the towering black gates. But something was terribly wrong. Police lights painted the mansion red and blue. Yellow tape blocked the entrance. Security guards rushed across the grounds. An ambulance idled near the fountain. Nora's stomach dropped. A detective stepped toward her. His expression grim. Miss Hayes? Her breath caught. How do you know my name? The detective hesitated. Then he said the words that shattered the night. Elias Monroe is missing. Thunder cracked overhead. Then he added. And before he disappeared, he left a message for you. Nora's heart stopped. The detective looked directly into her eyes. And quietly said, he told us to bring you inside. Next time on Velvet Veil, some truths wait 17 years to be uncovered. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Velvet Veil and turn on notifications so you never miss the final chapter. Because some family secrets were never meant to survive the dawn.